we are instructed to give unto you the law of chastity, which is that the women of God's kingdom and the men of God's kingdom shall have no sexual relations except with those to whom they are legally and lawfully wedded according to his law. Each of you bring your right arm to the square. You and each of you individually covenant and promise before God, angels, and these witnesses that you will observe and keep the law of chastity as it has been explained to you. Each of you bow your head and say yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
They go to the temple along with our 11-year-old young women.
She would be a second wife. She asked this question: would she be able to have her own house? Or would she have to live with her husband and his first wife? I just told her to trust the Lord.
Travis Wayne Goodsall. There are consequences. When we do something good, there are consequences that follow. When we do something bad, like lie, consequences follow. And so all of the scripture tells us to be good, but for some reason people misinterpret scripture and do bad, thinking that it's good, or at least convincing themselves or others that it's good. So, we're going to go into the mind of a Mormon assassin, Ray Montgomery. I did indeed get a death threat, yet again, warning number 3, and it was last night rather than this morning. But first, we're going to go over the mind of a misinformed ex-FOMO, or never-mo. Are you an ex-fo or never-mo? Ex-Mormon is those who are excommunicated from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Former Mormon are those who say, oh, this ain't right, I'm out, and they leave. Never-mo are those who never were, and only know about the church from hearsay. I have yet to find one who actually studies the church to figure things out. I don't know anybody who's like that. So, ancient prophecies of Joseph Smith and his Christ. Now, you'd think that that would be an innocent title, faith-promoting to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, who believe that Joseph Smith is their founder and that the Book of Mormon is their keystone scripture. Fortunately, Mormons are either illiterate or they are embracing their Danite heritage with lies and replacements. Because it's the learning of the Jews, not Christian. This is important. I mean, seriously, the Book of Mormon, 1 Nephi chapter 1, verse 2. This destroys the church and all its claims to truth and the one and only. Learning of the Jews. The religion of the Jews is not Christianity. It's completely different morality. So there's no such thing as Judeo-Christian values. Christians have stolen the Jewish religion and replaced it. And put Jesus on the throne of their religion rather than the Jewish Christ concept. Because Joseph Smith is actually a Christ. Messiah ben Joseph. 2 Nephi chapter 3. Ta-da! And so, because Mormons use Christianity, they don't see that. Christianity says Jesus is the only Christ. There will be no other Christ. There were no other Christ. It's just Jesus. And so when Mormons go through the temple initiatories, they're clueless. You just became a Christ, Mormon. What? Oh, Jesus is the only Christ. I don't want to be. You lied. You're mean. And so, a guy who has as his channel title, Revelations and Visions. So you'd think he's supporting me. That he would support Joseph Smith and the Book of Mormon. Nope. Revelations and Visions does not mean what it means. It's a Christian interpretation. And we can all go to the Joseph Smith 1838 history, in which Joseph Smith is telling the story of talking with a Methodist preacher. There are no such things as revelations and visions in these latter days. It ended with the apostles' deaths. And so, whatever the thumbnail picture is, it's most likely the Bible being opened with light coming from it. And that's only one version of who the Christ is. That was one of the ones that was rejected by the Nicene Creed, that the Word is Christ. The Word. Not a being, the Word. That's the ones who embraced the book of John, because the Word was God and the Word is God and blah, blah, blah. Nope, you misinterpreted it. And so, he is trying to Mormon-splain to me. I am the foremost Mormon scholar. And nobody wants to believe it, because they've got their own spiritual witness, whether the church is true or even if the church is false. Whether it's faith promoting or doubt promoting, they know, and they don't need to listen to me and my lies. Learning of the Jews. Oh my God. And so, all caps, what perversion? Wow, I want to know more. Because he said perversion. And then lowercase, did Joseph Smith commit? Question mark. I can already tell you he's been misinformed. And by whom? Danites. Whether first-hand source information of Danites or secondary source-hand information through back to Danites. And so, Joseph Smith was a polygamist. Nope, false premise. Conclusion is wrong. 2, he had 34 wives total. Nope. Incorrect. False premise. And I can't just say that. That's what Mormons do to me. Nope, you're wrong. Lies. See, on Wikipedia, there's this abominable site called List of Joseph Smith's Wives. This is all a lie. But, yeah, there's even a chart. Isn't that great? But this is because of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints coming out and claiming that that they confessed that Joseph Smith was indeed a polygamist, and came out with the documents from 1846 proving that Joseph Smith was sealed to all those women. When did Joseph die again? Wait a minute. So 1846, but what? He died in 1844. What's going on? What's Brian C. Hales screwing up? He's the major person that's involved with this screw up. He does not know how to do research. He sucks. Yes, Brian C. Hales, you suck at your research. You have no idea about the Danites. Oh my God. Algar's relationship, this was the 16-year-old girl who was the housekeeper, with Smith was attested to by several people. Now, this is a relationship. This is not a marriage. Do you notice the difference between having sex with somebody and having a certified document marriage ceremony? Do you not know the... Huh? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Neither of them happened. Brian is claiming was attested to by several people. And he lies. Because the footnote is Smith, 2010. It's a book. It's not the words of Emma Smith. That's the first one they put up there. Emma Smith confirmed Joseph Smith had a relationship with the Fanny Algar. No. Smith is not a legitimate source for this. What is his source? That should have been here in Wikipedia, not an author who did his book in 2010. This is all screwed up, Wikipedia. What the hell? And so I'm willing to bet if you went to his book and you saw a reference, if at all, it would reference a Danite. And I would laugh hysterically if they put section 132. Where Joseph tells Emma that she has to obey polygamy or she's going to be destroyed. That document did not exist until 1876. Oh my God. But Warren Parrish, yeah, Danite. Oliver Cowdery, who had nothing to do with Fanny Algar. He just threw that out there in anger because Joseph Smith and Sidney Rigdon were buddying up as to how to take the church to move forward. And Oliver Cowdery didn't like that. He wanted his way and he was outvoted and left. That was it. And then there's the whole defense book that he published with information received from David Whitmer. And it's a bombshell. And so, no, Oliver Cowdery is not a legitimate source. Heber C. Kimball. Really? You're going to put Heber C. Kimball, Brian C. Hales, professional published author and researcher of Joseph Smith's polygamy. Do you know about Heber C. Kimball? In 1829. When was the church organized? When did Heber C. Kimball join the church? In 1829, Heber C. Kimball knocked up a woman who was not his wife and had a kid with her. And then he joins the church with a polygamous wife. Whether married or not, doesn't matter. He had a kid with her. No kid with Fanny Algar. Kind of important if you're going to accuse somebody of having a marriage sexual relationship with them. Benjamin Franklin Johnson, Danite. Andrew Jensen? Oh my God! An early 20th century Mormon. When was the church organized? 19th century. Andrew Jensen, witness of Joseph's infidelity. See, this is ridiculous. And I have insider information on this subject because my third great aunt, Desdemona Fulmer, was one of Joseph Smith's 23 wives in 1846. The others, which I think are well over 40, closer to 50 even, so 34 is crap, were not until Brigham Young in this valley. There were more who wanted to be sealed to Joseph, and Brigham Young said, fine, you're ugly, I don't love you, get sealed to Joseph. You need to know factual evidence and the documents. It's all in the Joseph Smith papers. 1846, they published a book of the sealings to Joseph Smith. 1846, not 1843. And so, yeah, this younger girl thing that they have a fetish for with Joseph, no, that was Willard Richards. Yeah, him. 14, 16-year-old sisters. Willard Richards. The Danites were doing what they accused Joseph of, so that they could justify doing it. Do you seriously not know evil? Ex foe never mows? It's going to be difficult to try to remember. I'm going to have to write it down in my little book. Ex foe never mows. Danites. And supersessionism is a replacement theory, and so then we have ex foe never mows. It's my reference book. And so, yeah, all of this are based on a lie. If you're going to develop a theory, you have to use logical Socratic methodology, which means you have to use sound premises that lead to the conclusion. You don't conclude first, call Joseph Smith a pervert, and then go and list a whole bunch of lies and misinformation, and then say, see, I was right, Joseph Smith is a pervert. Nope, all of this is wrong. Not a single one of these are correct. The youngest wife was 14 years old, which is pedophilia. Oh, gee, thank you for telling me it was pedophilia. Did you know that anybody under 21 back in those days is pedophilia? You didn't know that? There was the 26th Amendment that changed the voting age to 18, thus adult to 18. He had 11 wives that were other men's wives. No. Brigham Young, Heber C. Kimball, and the Danites were bleeping other men's wives while they were out working, and they were talking about the Book of Mormon, another testament of Jesus Christ. I'm going to go have spiritual conversation with your wife, kids, or your mommy, kids. We're going to be in the room for about an hour, and talking about the Book of Mormon. Here, you read the Book of Mormon while I go in and talk to your mother about it in her bedroom while your daddy's away. And they continued the practice out in England with the forged licenses with the wrong name of the church and Joseph Smith's forged signatures. I've got all the evidence, the Joseph Smith papers. Oh my hell, why won't anybody use it? Why? And then he married biological sisters. No, Willard Richards. Oh my God. Seriously? You're claiming that Joseph Smith married Willard Richards' wives. 7 wives under 18. Oh my God. And so then he says God commands. Who's God? Jewish God, right? Because certainly you wouldn't be an anti-Semite replacing the Jews, having stolen their religion. That a man have only one wife, and putting the word spiritual in front of the word wife does not change sin into righteousness. Dear God. See, he's assuming that I've got all of these counter replies for him. Apparently he's been talking to Mormon apologists and thinks that somehow I've used their same fallacious thinking. Dear God. How did he sin against God? All of the above. Exodus 20:14, adultery. Leviticus 20:14, marrying a mother and her daughter. Leviticus 18:18, marrying biological sisters. You do know these are Jewish scriptures, right? They're not Christian. Mark 10:6-8, men are only allowed one wife. Is that the deacon one? I don't think so. I think the deacon one was one of the letters. Mark 10:6-8. That was on my mission, my greenie and hazing ritual. I was told the deacons are required to have a wife. Dear God, I am spending way too much time on this. 6-8, male and female, and leave the father and cleave to his wife. Why didn't you reference Genesis? He goes to a secondary source. Oh my God. You see, kids, this is what a dumbass looks like. All of the rest are Torah, and Mark, he doesn't quote Genesis. Oh my hell. Deuteronomy 18:10. Ooh, right before he talks about the Jewish Christ and the false prophet of that great and abominable church. And you missed that? Divination and scrying is an abomination against God. Oh my hell. That was not part of polygamy, dude. You screwed that one up. And so then he comes again, same video. Now he's going, what crimes did Joseph Smith commit? None. He was framed by the Danites. The Danites committed all the crimes. Disorderly conduct? No, it was glass looking, you dumbass. March 20th, 1826. Glass looking. Not disorderly conduct, glass looking. I have the original JPEG of the document. June 1830. Disorderly conduct. Really? Are you sure about that? Because you can just go to Joseph Smith and the criminal justice system. But they believe, like you do, February 1837 illegal banking. It wasn't illegal. It was perfectly legal. Lots of states and cities did it because they had to wait for approval. And when they don't give instant approval because you're brand new and they don't want to trust you, because it's a bank, you have to then do your own banking and then be established as legitimate over time, that they can then trust you and then officially make you a bank. This was the process in early America, guys. This was not illegal banking. The Kirtland Safety Society was not illegal banking. But what happened that got Joseph Smith in trouble was that the Danites took out loans from the bank, and they did not pay them back. Heber C. Kimball is even documented claiming to come back from his mission and learning that there were Mormons who took out loans and didn't pay them back. And so, yeah, he's pretending to defend Joseph, when he's the leader of the Danites who told them to do that to Joseph. Because what happened after this? It didn't get resolved until the end of the year. It was set up at the beginning of the year in February. It was not until the end of the year when it collapsed. What happened in 1838? Nothing. The coup of the church by Brigham Young, with Heber C. Kimball at his side. June 1837, conspiracy to commit murder. No, that was 1838. That was the Danites going around threatening everybody. And so, yeah, dude, oh my hell, you're getting it all wrong. And so August 1838, threats towards the judge. No, that was not his signature. He was not there. It was not him. This was the coup. Yeah, dude. Wow, you gotta stop listening to Danites. And so, yeah, the whole thing. What the hell? So, yeah, all of these are accusations. None of these are actual, factual claims. He's trusting in people's accusations. What false prophecies did Joseph Smith commit? Number 1, prophecy of Jesus returning within 56 years. Oops, Danites, forged document. It's section 130, isn't it? And he quotes the history of the church, volume... Oh my hell, it's in the scriptures, you dumbass. The United States will be overthrown within a few years. What? No, that was the Danites. That was what they were doing. That's why Thomas B. Marsh left. A temple shall be reared in this generation. Yeah, the Garland. Even the Nauvoo, technically. Oh my hell, where are you getting this concept from in your thinking processes? There are many you missed that Joseph Smith has been right about, but you can't see them because you got Christian glasses on. Got to take them off and use Jewish glasses. Then you see them very clearly. Real cool stuff. All right, so Ray